Hey everyone, this is Uberox streaming directly to you from my Ark. There has been a long-standing mystery about Ark of War that so far no one has been able to figure out. That is the formula for strengthen, weaken effect, and resistance weaken effect. Well, today I'm going to unravel the mysteries of this secret formula, as well as show you some other things that you didn't know about Ark of War. So let's get to it. Alright, so hopefully you know about strengthen, weaken effect, and resistance weaken effect. I'm just going to call them SWE and RWE from now on because it's shorter. And if you don't know, you'll have to go ahead and look at some other videos or maybe go on the Discord to research a little bit about how it works. SWE is extremely deadly if used properly because you can wipe out entire armies without taking any losses. And now with the new event with the box troops, anyone can get the right tier of troops to be able to SWE other troops. So from here on out, SWE is going to be more prevalent than ever, so it's very important that you understand how to use it. So what I've got here playing in the background is some examples of just single troops wiping out entire slots and armies. So it's time to forget most of the things that you think you know about SWE and RWE. The whole 1 to 1.5 ratio thing, it's false, alright? I'm about to give you the cold, hard facts. The absolute minimum and maximum amounts of RWE and SWE to be effective. The magic number that you probably might know is 400 SWE. So if your opponent is wearing 0 RWE, you need 400. But what happens when your opponent starts to wear RWE? For example, he's wearing a shadow. Well, then it gets a little bit more tricky, right? So what I'm going to show you today is how much RWE you need to be able to deal damage to someone using SWE, or vice versa, how much SWE you need to be able to deal damage to someone who has SWE. The number is at 500 SWE, you need 75 RWE minimum. So for example, a level 20 shadow will give you 90 RWE. So you're going to need more than 500 if you want to be able to deal with a level 20 shadow. At 600 SWE, you need a minimum of 150 RWE in order to deal damage. So a level 30 shadow is going to give you 120, and a level 40 shadow is going to give you 150. So if you want to deal damage or not take any damage from someone with a level 40 shadow, you're going to need a little bit more than 600 SWE, which is approximately level 30 SWE gear plus the hull or Virgo gems or whatever. Now for 700 SWE, I don't have that much gear because you need, I think, about level 35 or level 40 gear, which I don't have. I assume you need 225 RWE minimum. Although I haven't been able to test this, while the other numbers, I am sure that is the absolute minimum that you would need. As for the maximum amount of damage, if you want to completely negate SWE and the base weakening effect, you need 100 more than whatever amount of SWE your opponent has. So simply put, if he has 400 SWE, you need 500 RWE in order to deal 100% damage and completely negate his strengthen weaken effect. There are actually two components to SWE, the base weakening effect and the strengthen weaken effect. So the base weakening effect is the innate rock, paper, scissors, how infantry is strong against airships. That is the base weakening effect, right? It's called SWE, but that's kind of a weird word, so I'm not going to call it that. But what's that, you say? Tear space troops ignore SWE? Now the next thing regarding SWE, which is very interesting, is that tear space damage can actually be reduced by SWE. However, it can only reduce up to the base weakening effects damage. So for example, if you are being hit by tear space troops, if you are wearing SWE gear, for example Wild Rose, your SWE will reduce the opponent's tear space damage being dealt to you. So how much damage reduction can you get from using SWE against tear space? The answer is 42. Why 42? Because that's the answer to life and everything. I don't know. The developers just made it that way. You can try it out yourself. In the research lab, we've done the experiments and we've tested this extensively, so you can test it out for yourself if you don't believe me. Now remember that these amounts are the minimum amount of RWE that you need to be able to overcome SWE. So you will be dealing very little damage, which may be enough. Keep that in mind when you are going to try to SWE your opponent. Okay, so most of you from my last video should know about the trick where if you want to get first strike, then you will send a weenie first, and then wait 10 seconds, and then attack with your main commander to get first strike. So one of the things that you can do to counter this is to attack your opponent while he is sending that weenie, because he has that 10-second window where he's probably not going to shield. But the thing is, because of the delay on the server, it's very difficult. Actually, it's almost impossible to do this if you're just staring at the screen, because the delay is long enough that the moment you see his shield go down, he's actually already had his shield down for maybe 5 or longer seconds, so that by the time you click on him, click attack, get through your formation and click it again, another few seconds has passed and he's already put up his shield and you're not going to be able to get him. So what you can do instead is that you can click on world and then you click on back, and you just keep going like this, and every time you do this it will refresh whatever is on your screen. So let's say right now I'm trying to attack this player here, and I know he's sending weenies to a capital. I want to hit him while he's attacking. Now this will obviously only work if he's sending weenies, because if he's just sending his main commander, he is just going to shield immediately and you'll never hit him even if you're using 4 speed ups. But if he is sending a weenie and he's waiting 10 seconds, you can catch him like this simply by going to world and then going back and then going to world and going back. And yes, it is a bit tedious, but I've definitely caught many players like this. And the thing about this is that it doesn't always succeed, but it definitely gives you the best chance to counter someone who is using the weenie trick. Next up, in your inventory, you may or may not already know this, but if you click on one of your items that you want to keep, you can actually lock and unlock it. Right now it says my login time is too short, so it doesn't allow me to unlock it. But this is actually kind of important because it may not have ever happened to you. I had a guildmate and he accidentally recycled a perfect Titan. And let me tell you, that's one of the worst feelings in the world because it is so difficult to make one, you know? I mean, I've been playing this game for a year and I haven't even made one yet. So I can just go in here and I can click lock, and that will prevent me from being able to sell it or recycle it or do anything. I can still upgrade it and I can still put it on, it just won't let me recycle it, which can be very important. If you don't do this, just go ahead and take the time and lock all your items that you want to keep, because that way it'll just prevent you a big heartache. I mean, be safe, lock your items. Next is a little healing trick for GB, is that if you are lucky enough to have your galactic battle during a heal event, if your med bay is full but you haven't started healing yet, when you leave GB, even if it's automatic, you will immediately start healing them. But if you even have a single troop healing, for example, let's say I started to heal this Death Angel and then I didn't heal these Gaias, if I were to leave GB, then the Gaias would cost me resources to heal. So don't do that, obviously. But what you can do is that let your med bay be entirely full, hit heal, and then go out of GB and then finish the heal once you're back on the server, and you'll get a ton of points for the heal event. Finally, this is one of the new features of the game, which is the convert to awakening materials. Now, I would recommend that you actually leave this off at all times. And the reason is because once you do this, you will always get tokens. But those tokens can actually be turned into awakening materials. So if you leave it on, then you will always get the awakening materials. But isn't it better just to have the option to do it when you want to? So you should always leave this off until you're ready to collect some materials. Then you go ahead and turn it on. And then now you can go to your tokens, and then you can change your tokens into awakening materials. For example, I have Medusa here at S class already, so I can just click on it, and then I will be able to get tokens. I'm sorry, I will be able to get awakening materials. So this is the best way to do it because you have options. It's always good to leave yourself options open. Otherwise, if you just leave this option on the whole time, then you'll just always get awakening materials, which, you know, you never know, right? It's better to have the tokens and have the option to turn them into materials than to just be forced into having them into materials. So I hope you enjoyed this video and learned something from it. If you did, please leave a like down below. It will really help me a lot. And if you want to, you can join my Discord where you can talk to me anytime, or follow me on Instagram so you can see what I'm up to besides Ark of War. I want to thank you for watching my video, and remember, stay happy and healthy.